Did you know that Pinot Grigio was traditionally made in a light red wine style? Yeah, that crisp, refreshing white wine that we know and love, very versatile. It wasn't always that way, and we're going to explore why that was tonight. Also, Prosecco. That's the sparkling wine from Italy. It's a great alternative to champagne for the holidays, especially given the price point and the price value equation. We're going to explore all that tonight. I was going to say on the Sunday Sipper Club, but it's Monday, so I don't know. I guess I'll have to rename this show for tonight, Monday Mouthful Club or something. I don't know what. But I'm Natalie McLean, editor of Canada's largest wine review site at nataliemclean.com, and I am so glad you're here. Before I fully introduce our guest tonight, in the comments below, let me know, have you ever tasted a wine from Santa Margherita? That's in northern Italy. The Prosecco, the Pinot Grigio, of course they make Chianti and other wines. But I would love to know, just yes or no, have you ever tasted a wine from Santa Margherita? Now, our guest tonight, of course, is from Santa Margherita Wines. I'm going to welcome him here tonight with us. Nicola Lovato, welcome to our little community. Hi, how are you?
I'm very good, thank you.
Good, good, good.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon for you. You're in England, and of
Yes,
course, you
correct.
travel between England and Italy. So it's
And
much.
Canada.
Yes, that's right. That's right. You are here. We met you in person, which was a great tasting, by the way, with the team here in Ottawa. But actually, it's very late at night for you, so it's 6 p.m. for us. Anyway, we really appreciate you being here. And
It's
you're
a
in the
pleasure, Natalie.
Oh, terrific. So you're the ambassador for Santa Margherita Wines. Let's just start off with maybe something about you personally. What was the moment you realized, oh, I want to be in the wine industry?
It's a very nice question. Probably was back in my university years.
Okay.
I used to work as a part-timer in a catering, in a beautiful catering company. And probably from my background, my family background, I always had this kind of passion for wines. And I started to look after the wine side of the company. And I was having so much fun. And it was basically didn't even able to realize I was working. And that was the first probably moment when I understood how nice and how easy it was working with wines for me. But we have to move forward a few years.
Okay.
When I moved actually to London 12 years ago, when I started to work in a little wine shop, and very fast in 6 months' time, I became the wine manager of the shop.
Okay.
And probably since that moment, I'm in the business completely full time.
And was there a particular wine that you tasted that you had that aha moment, like, oh my goodness?
Yeah, probably was. It's very. It's not something so peculiar. It was a bottle of 83 Dom Perignon. I still
Okay,
remember.
that's pretty
I
peculiar.
was.
Is special. That would
Yeah, it was
probably convert anybody.
yes, no doubt. It was my 18th birthday, and I discovered a completely new world to me.
Dom Perignon on your 18th birthday. You do
Yeah.
know how to come into adulthood, Nicola. Wow. Okay, so we are going to actually be tasting. Now, Jane has joined us. Excellent. Yes, I love their wines, Jane has said. And Lynn
Thank you.
Vanderlyn, love it. Yes. Oh, good. So we are heard and seen tonight. That's terrific. I always like to know that we're not talking just to the internet here. We're on the subject of bubbly. I was going to start with the Pinot Grigio, but we'll get to that. Bubbly, you're already talking about Dom Perignon, which of course is champagne, the premium champagne. But, and I have kept a little lid on this, I have here, and I think you have there, Nicola,
I can confirm it.
there you go, Prosecco. Now this is Italian bubbly, dry, crisp, refreshing, probably, I don't know, a tenth of the price of champagne. But tell us a little bit more about, we're heading, here in Canada, we're heading into our Thanksgiving. And of course, right around the corner is the holiday season. So tell us about what's different, the key differences between Prosecco and Champagne and other sparkling wines?
Of course, the region, because
Okay.
Prosecco is made in northeast of Italy, in
Yeah.
the Treviso province
Okay.
mainly. Valdobbiadene and Conegliano are the two main villages of the DOCG appellation,
Okay.
as we know it today.
Yes.
And the DOC is slightly wider, and it's comprehensive of basically the whole Veneto region.
Okay.
And
Veneto.
so Veneto, and a bit of Friuli Venezia Giulia as well.
Friuli, yes.
Yeah, all the part, the bottom part of the region of Friuli goes to a village named Prosecco.
And is
So
that
that is
bordering Austria, like the top part
not
of it?
really,
No?
not really. Veneto goes until the borders with Austria, but the Prosecco region is more central of
Okay.
the region. It's not the Pinot Grigio we are going to talk later on is actually made from Val d'Adige, which is basically at the border with
Up the
Austria.
border. But it's all northern Italy, which is the cool climate.
Northeast, yeah,
Yes.
northeast of Italy.
Yes.
Correct.
Okay.
So, trying to underline the difference between Prosecco and Champagne, and not only the area of production,
Sure.
the grapes, because in this case it's mainly Glera grape variety.
Yes. Galera, yes. And that's what Prosecco used to be called. There was a whole division between wines that used to be called Galera, and then it got renamed to Prosecco. Maybe you could clarify that.
The other way around. Actually, when
Good. Tell me.
kind of 7 years ago,
Yeah.
end of 2009, 2010, they elevated the DOC area, the appellation, to a DOCG, which is the highest Italian appellation for a wine.
Right.
So the historical area of production of Prosecco became the DOCG, as we know it today.
Okay.
And the DOC was enlarged, comprehending the Prosecco village in Friuli Venezia Giulia.
Okay, so just so for people who are not as technically versed, it's I will mess this up, but denomination original controle
And guaranteed.
guaranteed. It's basically this region is guaranteed for certain laws in regards to the way wine is made here.
Yes, it's a kind of manual book, the rules
Yes.
of the wine production.
It's like
So-
our VQA in Ontario, and Lise has joined us. Welcome, Lise. So yeah, okay. So back to your description of the differences between Prosecco and Champagne. So you said the grapes are different, and there was a change 7 years ago in terms of the name of the
because before the DOCG was created, thank you,
yeah.
the grape was called Prosecco. In order to be part of this peculiar area of production, they found the village Prosecco, and they had to change the name of the grape. So they picked the Glera name, which is a very old direct name for the same variety.
Okay, okay. And yet, you know, what I find with these wines, I mean, it's just, they're so well made. They're dry. I think maybe a misperception of Italian sparkling wines is that they're all sweet, but maybe that's a hangover from Asti, Spumante. But this to me is very earthy, very dry, a great
Exactly.
alternative to
A very good
champagne.
minerality. In this very case, we are enjoying a brut. In this
Brut, which
wine,
means dry, yes.
yeah, is has less sugars than an extra dry.
Yes.
So in Santa Margherita decided has been one of the first Prosecco player vinifying the brut version of the Prosecco in order to enjoy it throughout the meal, not only as an aperitif. You are right. The perception of the sparkling wine industry, for an Italian point of view, is on the sweet.
sweet,
It
yeah.
was on the sweet side.
Yeah, I think it's more the other style of wine, the spumante. And Lee says it's my start for my party, her gatherings. She loves prosecco and brut, which is an interesting origin of that word, perhaps shared in French and Italian. Brut means brutal because originally all sparkling wines were made sweet, even champagne. And so when they introduced a dry style in champagne, people described it as brutal. It was like, oh my gosh, this is we can't take this because there's no sweetness. So it's come to mean brut means dry. And it's the style we all want and ask for now, the dry style. But that's kind of where it harkens from. So, but this is definitely dry and refreshing. Yeah. So when it comes
and the method as well between champagne and prosecco is of course is not made the second fermentation to get the sparkling wine. It doesn't take place in the bottle as for the traditional method, the one of the champagne. But this takes place in a very large tank and then is bottled.
And in the tank, is it a closed tank, an open tank?
Of course, it's closed. It has to be closed
to keep the bubbles in.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just asking all the questions that might occur to our guests, and yes,
Please.
I'm still asking them. I never pretend to be the expert when I'm talking to someone from a winery. So the closed tank keeps the bubbles, the CO2, in the wine, and therefore traps it, as opposed to the same process that would take place in the bottle, each individual bottle in champagne. So does that create any difference in the bubbles or the quality or the texture or anything like that?
Yeah, because we should consider the timing. In the champagne case, for a non-vintage champagne, you need a second fermentation in contact with the lees for at least 15 months.
Okay.
In the Prosecco de Charmat method, or a Martinotti, as we like to call it in Italy.
What is it, Martinotti?
Martinotti apparently was the inventor of the second fermentation in the tank.
Okay.
But Monsieur Charmat was the first to patent the method.
Okay.
Anyway, the point is the timing. The Prosecco is much faster. We don't wait more than 1 year to get the wine.
Okay.
In a few months in the tank, the wine is already ready to be enjoyed. So in terms of profile, it's much easier. It's much lighter. Even the alcohol, the percentage of alcohol is lower than that.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? This is 11.5, where you usually get 12 or 12.5 at least. And all of that, even at those two levels, that's low for wines today. We're used to big, Shiraz Cabernets clocking in at, 14, 15%. This truly is a social gathering wine because, you can have a couple of glasses and not feel like, oh my gosh, I have to go for a nap.
You are right. The fruit in the Prosecco is amazing. We don't have so much acidity as in the Champagne area. We are in Italy, much more sun. The acidity is there, but it's perfectly balanced by natural sugars. We don't have many sugars. In this case, the residual sugars are below 10 grams per liter.
Okay.
In Champagne, usually they go way up than 10. Huh. So there is less complexity, I dare to say.
But at the fraction of the price, I always do the sort of price value equation, and I think, wow, like for what you're getting, this is pretty amazing. Now, one of the things I want to do, I'm just still monitoring the comments over here, is that if you share this video tonight, if you click on share, which I'm showing right now on the screen, Nicola has generously agreed to, let's just see, I think our internet connection might have been cut off and we may need to restart. Yeah, no, I think we're still going. Folks, if you can still hear me, please let me know. This is the usual with the technology, and people are still commenting. So, Nicola, excuse me, but
I'm still here. I'm still here.
So am I. I just don't know if anybody else can hear or see us. But this is so typical of this when we're pushing the boundaries of this new technology. So, folks, if you can still hear and see us, please just let us know. Just a yes or no. Getting all sorts of internet warnings. Anyway, so I'm going to say this again. If you share this video tonight and press the share button, share it out with your friends, fans, and followers, you will be eligible to win a couple of bottles of Santa Margherita wines. I always love to, encourage participation. You also want to click the follow button so you know when we're live. But I just want to let you know that because that is something that we are doing regularly now just to reward you. Hey, Rochelle is here. Santa Margherita, big heart emoji. Nice to see you again, Nicola. She was at our Ottawa tasting. Another
Okay, beautiful. Hi.
wine writer. Hello, hello, hello. So I guess we're still going. So let's just keep going. So Nicola, tell us, we're heading into the holidays, and for us, first up next weekend is Thanksgiving. I just think this would be amazing with turkey. What pairings what do you love pairing this with for the holidays?
Prosecco, as I already told you, is from Veneto, and in Venice we have a fantastic kind of cuisine, and often you find Prosecco with the seafood. In Venice, you eat a lot of seafood.
Right.
It's a terrific match with a huge, different amount of dishes from the sea. I love it personally with a very simple spaghetti with clams. We call it vongole.
What
And
is it called?
I
Vongole?
vongole are
Vongole.
clams.
Okay, that sounds
With
great.
vongole.
Okay.
And there's this kind of saltiness of the sea,
Yeah.
perfectly balanced by the sweet note and the floral notes of the prosecco.
Yes.
And probably is a memory of my childhood. But with my grandfather, we used to drink prosecco, eating spaghetti with vongole.
Oh, that's so
So
nice. That reminds me of the film Ratatouille. It just, brings back all the childhood. Food is about childhood memories, and wine to me
yeah.
is part of that food experience. So it's like, where does it have that touch point in memory? And it just brings it all back for you.
But as we already said, it's very versatile.
Yeah.
It's such an interesting kind of wine. You can start as an aperitif, just nibbling something, and you can go throughout a meal because it's not uh, so light. It's easy, but not. There is this note of minerality, which
Yes.
is perfect in your mouth. It cleans perfectly your mouth.
Absolutely. The minerality, the bubbles, the swarm of bubbles that are the ultimate palate cleanser. When we talk palate cleanser, to me, it's like the bubbles are almost little scrubby brushes that are cleaning
Yeah.
off like the seafood taste or whatever. Not that we need it to go away, but we want to enjoy the next bite even more. So the wine elevates the food because it sort of washes it away like an ocean tide going out, and then we're like, okay, bring it on, give me more seafood, then bring back the ocean spray or something like that. um, anyway, so okay, so that the prosecco, I just think the value equation of this is pretty amazing. I think it's available across the country here in Canada. I believe in Ontario it's somewhere around $21, $22, something like that.
Yeah.
I'll post all of
But,
the wines below here, folks, so you can find them in your local liquor store, because on our site, you log in and it knows which province you're in, and it will show you the stock in your local liquor store, which is kind of helpful. Lise is pairing your
indeed.
wines with hot tubs. Okay, Lise. So let's segue over to Pinot Grigio. So, Pinot Grigio, I didn't know this till we did our team tasting. You've got it in Ottawa. Okay, so we all think about Pinot Grigio as crisp, refreshing, white wine, chill it, versatile, but it always wasn't this way, especially this sort of clarity. What did it used to be traditionally, Nicola?
Traditionally, it's not a white grape.
Okay,
It is a pale red grape variety.
it's a red grape. Okay.
Yes, it is.
All right, that's news to a lot of people.
And before Santa Margherita, until 1960, basically,
Okay.
the Pinot Grigio in Alto Adige used to be blended with other local indigenous grape variety, Schiava, which is another kind of very light red grape,
Okay.
and blended together as a very simple table wine.
A red wine, though. Yes?
Yeah,
Yeah.
indeed, red. Gaetano Marzotto, the founder of Santa Margherita back in 1935, was after the Second World War, was already willing to go abroad, and during the 50s was looking for a very peculiar profile of international white wine. And the
Okay.
idea was during the harvest of 1960 in
Yes.
Alto Adige was a quite difficult harvest, a lot of rain, so the red mm, was not enough
Sure.
to vinify a red. The idea was to vinify, and they didn't know probably at the time they were starting a revolution in the wine industry. They started the vinification of the Pinot Grigio without the skins. As you know, the color is
It's
only
all in the
pink.
skins, yes. So they were the
Inside
first. Santa Margherita was the first to
a
say,
pioneer, yes, indeed.
let's take the skins off and make a white wine.
And they started the snowball of fashion of the whole category. They
Yeah,
invented, we can say today, a whole wine category. The Pinot Grigio as a white wine.
absolutely. Yeah,
So it's a
no,
wine in disguise, basically.
it
Because,
is. That's why it
yes,
has a bit more heft, I think, in flavor, not in heaviness or alcohol, than a lot of white wines. So that is interesting background. And it makes sense if you take the skins off and you've got that basic, the flesh of a red wine grape, but you're making white. Um, and Pinot Grigio is, I've heard from multiple reports over several years, still one of the fastest growing wines in the liquor store category. So it's still popular, perhaps because it has that intersection of crisp, light, refreshing white wine, but some interesting aromatics that you would traditionally maybe associate with a red wine.
it's not a light body wine. It's a
No,
white, elegant, plenty of minerality again,
it's true.
but it's a medium to full body. So
Yeah,
again,
it is.
very versatile in terms of food matching,
I'm
which is
thinking again roast turkey,
yes, beautiful.
roast chicken, seafood, shellfish, vegetarian, a lot. Even meats. Like I'm thinking grilled pork chops and anything except because I would want to do justice to the wine. Anything except maybe a rare meaty steak. Just about anything up to that point for me personally. Of course, that's subjective, but
I completely agree with you, Natalie. I
yeah.
had the chance once to taste it with a steak tartare, beef tartare.
Oh, that would be
It was
interesting. It
amazing.
worked, eh? Yeah.
Indeed, it worked. And 2 weeks ago, I was in Quebec. The sommelier did this kind of, after a wine dinner, we started with the Pinot Grigio and the Prosecco and blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
Last dish was a dish, a cheese dish. And
Ah,
he took the bottle like a blind tasting,
okay.
and nobody was able to recognize the Pinot Grigio because it's very chameleontic. It changed a lot.
Like a
Uh,
chameleon.
yeah,
Yeah, absolutely. And especially if
thank
you
you.
remove people, I don't know, if you remove people's biases with the visual, knowing if it's white or red, and of course, not knowing the label, they get past their prejudices because we all have them, whether it's price or certain brands, whatever, and just taste the wine for what it is. I mean, it's just such a wonderful taste sensory experience. So Melanie Lloyd says, yes, I've had their Brut Superior a few times this month. Very nice. Melanie
Thank
is
you.
another wine blogger and writer. So we've got a lot of them here tonight. All right. So Jane and Love Their Wines, Rochelle, yes, and Lise. All right. So great. Okay. So now Pinot Grigio. What else might surprise us about the region of Pinot Grigio? Maybe talk a little bit. You alluded to it earlier. It's more along that northern latitude, closer to Austria. What is it like there?
Yeah, it's a beautiful spot on the planet, Natalie, to be
Okay.
honest with you.
Okay.
The Val d'Adige appellation stands in Italian for Valley of Adige, while Adige is the main river of the region.
Okay.
It starts in the Dolomites,
All right.
exactly at the borders with Austria, and
Yes.
goes all the way down through the city of Bolzano, Trento, Verona, and then goes out in the open sea in the bottom part of Veneto. Santa Margherita started in Alto Adige and then in the Val d'Adige, which is the valley around the top part of the river, where the valley is at the beginning more narrow, of course, and
Okay.
then is going to open a bit up. We are surrounded by beautiful apple trees. And every time I had the chance to smell the Pinot Grigio of Santa Margherita, or of course when I drink it, I almost bite this peculiar variety of golden delicious that grows just around the vineyards.
Biting into an
The
orchard, yes.
Yeah,
So
you can tell.
fresh. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
so fresh.
they're very crispy.
Yes. So, so refreshing. I
So
mean,
yeah,
just smelling it makes my mouth water. It has that kind of reaction. It's like,
exactly here,
ah,
even in London. It's doing this.
it's fantastic.
So we are surrounded by mountains. The air is so fresh. During the day, we reach during the summer. Of course, we the temperature is quite high, goes easily above 30 degrees,
Oh,
and
wow.
drops down during the night about 10, 12. So this interesting difference between daytime and nighttime temperature
Yes.
helps the Pinot Grigio to develop this beautiful acidity, of course, always well balanced by the fruit
Yeah.
and the minerality of the soil.
And that's a key thing that I hear from really solid wine regions is the, well, they call it diurnal if we want to get fancy, but the difference between the daytime warmth, which gives the ripening of the grape sugars into those wonderful flavors and phenolics or whatever that happens in the grape skins, and that nighttime acidity that, or sorry, the nighttime coolness that preserves the acidity. And you've got that yin and yang of ripening that you need, the warmth in the day, the coolness at the night, to create that sort of perfect blend in a wine.
And the balance is the key
Yes, the
word for me.
balance. Absolutely. Gwen has joined us as well. Pinot Grigio, such versatility with food pairing. Absolutely, Gwen.
Yeah.
And if you're just joining us, if you missed the first part, please watch the replay after we post this. But also, folks, if you share this video, you could win a couple of bottles of Santa Margherita wines coming your way just in time for the holidays. So you share it, you comment, and follow. It's a good way to kick off the holiday season. I just think these wines are really terrific, especially with, even the Pinot Grigio. It's 12 point. I always look at this, the 12.5, especially not just for myself, but as a hostess. I don't want to serve, 14% alcohol, or I'm going to have to be calling a lot of taxis.
That's a
Seriously.
very good point.
You want to be responsible. Have people enjoy the wine, but I mean, around this time of year and as we head into the holiday season, you want something light but tasty, and again, not too high and heavy on the alcohol or the oak or all of those other elements that just make wine, certain wines, a bit of a sensory assault, whereas these are the sort of complete opposite. So, anyway, so Nicola, we've talked a lot about Pinot Grigio, Prosecco, which was the focus of our discussion tonight. Have we left out anything that you'd like to mention at this point before we sort of wrap this up?
I think Santa Margherita, thank you, first of all. And I think Santa Margherita had the chance over the more than 80 years of history to be a pioneer, not only for the Pinot Grigio since 1961, but if you consider the Prosecco, they started in 1952, so way before the Pinot Grigio production. Of course, the success of the Pinot Grigio in a kind of way made shadow our Prosecco production, but we are proudly one of the probably most important players in the Prosecco appellation. If you consider we started to produce Prosecco as a sparkling wine producer even before the DOC was created. Not only now we are in the DOCG, but we were there before the DOC, almost 20 years before.
Wow.
And this kind of pioneeristic aspect of the family is keep going year by year, because they are always they are very focused on acquiring new piece of land and new estates, building this beautiful, as you know, wine mosaic spread over 7 different Italian regions.
Yeah, absolutely. When we tasted in Ottawa, I was so impressed with just the digging into the different regions, soils, climates, and trying to be innovative, like it's, not resting on your laurels back in, the early 1960s, changing what we know Pinot Grigio to be today. That's still part of the ethos, the heritage of Santa Margherita wines, and trying to find new ways to express, of course, the northern Italian region from which it hails. So, Nicola, this has been fantastic. I really want to thank you for taking the time tonight to be with us. I know it's very late for you, so, and I know you have a very young child, so you're not getting a lot of sleep as it is. So, anyway, I want to thank you, and we wish you all the best. We're looking forward to our holiday season. We've got our warm-up wines here to toast the holidays, whether it's Thanksgiving or further on into December holidays. These wines are a terrific match for family, food, and fun. So thank you so much, Nicola.
Thank you, Natalie.
Okay.
Thank you ever so much.
Good night.
It was a pleasure. Good night.
Good night. All right, folks, I am still here. And if you have any more questions, Lise has asked, what are the upcoming trends in Prosecco? Lise, I will ask Nicola to jump back into the conversation below and answer questions we did not get to. I'm sorry I did not see that comment before I wished him good night. It's midnight his time. He's in, right now, London, England, so wanted to let him go, and he has like a 1-year-old, so again, he's not sleeping well. But that's what I do with all of these video sessions, tastings, is I always ask the guests, please come back to the comments section and answer the questions and, provide more insights, because I want you to be acknowledged, heard, and answered. So guys, I think that's it for tonight. Again, if you share this video, we will draw. And as you know, this is sort of a special edition of our live tastings. So this coming Sunday, when we go live with John Williams of Frog's Leap, he is a lot of fun. At the end of that, I'll announce the winner from tonight's session, as well as the winner from last night's session with Paul Mabray. So that's a bottle of California wine and his report access. Tonight is several bottles of Santa Margherita wines. So it's all good. Participation is what it's about. And I so appreciate you folks being here. I love my regulars who show up every time we go live. And it means a lot to me. And I know if you're watching the replay, which a lot of you do, please know that you can still share this video, because we're not drawing for the winners until this coming Sunday, October 8th. And also you can still comment. So we invite those comments, those questions in the comments below. Both Nicola and I will be jumping in to answer questions and to support you. I hope that gets you feeling like you're starting to get ready for the holidays. I know I am. So I will say good night for now. Lisa's asking where my wine art is. Lisa, I moved to a new place and I'm still contemplating what my background will be. So suggestions are welcome. But I'm totally rethinking my studio and set. I've got new lighting, new camera position. Everything's changing. Everything always is anyway, whether you wanted to or not. In this case, I wanted to. So suggestions always welcome. So Lise, Rochelle, Gwen, Melanie, Jane, everybody who is here tonight, thank you so much. And I will sip with you soon this coming Sunday. Take care.